The podcast you are listening to of Holmberg's Morning Sickness is brought to you by my friends at Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Trust me on this one. You've had barbecue before, but you haven't had it this good. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale, ericsfamilybbq.com.
When was the last time you had really good Texas-style barbecue? Eric's Family Barbecue, the way it's supposed to taste. Always delicious, never rushed, and prepared to perfection. Eric's Family Barbecue uses only 100% fresh meat, slowly smoked over mesquite wood until it's juicy and delicious. We all know their brisket is the best, but have you tried their pulled pork ribs, or rib tips? Amazing, and their sides are all house-made. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Make the trip. You won't be sorry. Go to ericsfamilybbq.com for more information.
Holmberg's Morning Sickness.
Hear the words you say sometimes? I mean, who talks like that?
98 KUPD.
The return of Big Dick Toledo. That's pretty exciting.
Spray everything down.
Right? Yeah. I mean, no one's ever been excited about him showing up anywhere, let alone being gone for a long time and then coming back. But hey, he's back, everybody. There he is. And, he's got a lot of work to do right off the bat because evidently this place hasn't been a place for about 4 hours. So, who knew? The computer ate itself. Brett, you're back on overnights. We need a guy in here.
Hell no. Those tweakers aren't going to notice.
They do. My emails are packed full of tweakers noticing. So third shifters are all. Nobody's real happy about this. Well, this computer just shut off.
Oh, awesome.
There it goes. It's back. Yeah, we've got a computer issue going on. The whole thing closed up shop last night in the middle of the night. And no one was here to notice. So I get a call on my drive in.
Hey, chum.
Hi, Brady.
Is that KUPD? Is that on the air?
Is we off the air?
I'm like, let me check. I'm on the phone with you. So it's this. I'd hang up, turn on KUPD, and sure enough, nope, it isn't. Call back.
Yeah, it says there's there's nothing here.
Like, oh, that's not good. Well, anywho, I'll talk to you later because we don't know what to do. So.
Yeah, I mean, we should probably have better ratings than Alt-AZ over there.
Well, I just say we were running the best of Woody all night long, and that's why it was dead silent the entire time. We had one bit we could run, and then it was over. So at 12:05, probably it was all off. So anyway, thanks for sticking with us, Tweakers Overnights, who imagined your radio station all night long. We're back, and everything should be just fine. Yeah, we're so close to being part of that, Brady. You know, it's like your Costa Concordia story.
Yeah.
You were a year removed from being on the actual sinking ship, which I watched yesterday in the news. And they were making a big deal about Kamala Harris, that news reports that had not happened yet just came out yesterday that the pipe bomb that was found last January 6th was outside of a building she was in. How safe is she? I'm like, it was a year ago. She made it. We're good.
Yeah, she's pretty safe.
Well, you can be safe from that incident of a year ago where nothing happened to her.
I think so.
They were like, we were so close. It was just, my God. So we had never reported this before. I'm like, why not? Because it's not a story? Because nothing happened? Yeah, but I mean, what if? I'm like, that's like living with a crazy woman.
Yeah.
What if you did this and what if that? No, so I guess this is how you made up your mind for me, I guess is what, nutballs. Yeah, that insurrection news yesterday was everywhere, and frankly, got less and less impressive the more it went on. The more I found out, the more I'm like, wow, they were really just a strange non-threat. They kept showing the dude that was smoking weed in the Capitol, and he's like, smoking weed inside the building, man.
How disrespectful.
Like, yeah, these guys didn't have a plan. They got in.
Typical Wheaties.
Yeah, they got in and walked around, and I'm like, now what? I don't know. I think we should leave.
Wheaties ruin it for Wheaties.
The worst thing for Wheaties.
He's doing 30 years right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He's time. That's we've punished. They talked to that QAnon shaman. They reran his interview about 1,000 times. He talked to Inside Edition. That's how important it was. And he said he regrets it getting out of hand, and he would have done more to try to calm people down. If he had it to do over again, he'd have tried to calm people down. Well, he's sitting in jail for 4 years.
Listen to the guy with the buffalo hat.
Man, that dude's right. We should all calm down like Weedy McWeed's a lot over there. It's the weirdest story. Completely weird. And I talked a little bit about the insurrection yesterday and how, yes, people died. Yes, it was there were tragedies involved. But for the most part, democracy survived. And they kept saying that, democracy won't make it through this. And I'm like, I don't know at all. What I'm seeing is, a threat to the entire nation. It could have been. It was bad. Certainly bad. When people just storm in the castle, but it was odd. And because I talked about it yesterday, I got this. This is great. This is an email I love. Holmberg, I hate how woke you've got. Liberal left. Brady's a guy who can't make a choice. I'm not shocked that he's caved to the system, but you parade around like you're a badass. Meanwhile, you took the vaccine. You're bashing patriots who tried to save our nation last January 6th and then scream about Antonio Brown taking painkillers but won't take the death vaccine. Dude, read about what's in your body and understand you were wrong and say so. Stop being a sheep and fall in line with the truth, not the propaganda.
Signed, Dr. Fauci.
Well, that's the fun part. Fall in line with you. Like, that's what you're saying. Don't fall in line with them. That makes you a sheep. Fall in line, be a sheep with me.
Yeah.
You're one of the funniest and maybe smart people in media, and yet you're railing against the church all morning, and they've convinced you to go against God and country. You call yourself a middle-of-the-road guy, but you're as left as that miserable Toledo who's completely lost his sense of self. Tease him about cuckoldry, but it's real, and now you're one too. You sit and let a man bang your country, and you've done nothing about it. That's great.
Guy nailed it.
How is it different than some guy hammering your wife with the knowledge, with your knowledge, and you stand and take it without so much as a raised voice? At least when my wife cheated on me, she kept it quiet. I didn't have to watch. I found out after the divorce. Anyway, stay hilarious and pull your head out. The vaccine is poison, and it's made you a robot. So enjoy Omicron. It's your worst stuffy nose ever, Jason. Well, thank you, Jason, for all that information, including the part where your wife cheated on you. I mean, that was the part where really he just wants to talk. That guy just he wants to tell a story to somebody that he hasn't opened up to his friends really about what happened in the marriage. It sounds like. And Jason's still upset about the marriage. There's no reason to include that part.
Give him Katrina's number. He needs it.
That's right. I got to get him with Katrina. It's the goddamn Omicron and the insurrection, and also my wife was banging that guy for a while. I found out after we got divorced. So she also left you before you found out about all the stuff that she was doing. That's painful. So I understand your pain. It has nothing to do with the insurrection or me being woke, which is the last thing I think I am. Maybe I'm woke. I don't know. Am I one of the woke ones? I guess.
But you're a cuck like Toledo.
My homo neighbors and I get along. Is that woke? I don't
Uh-huh.
know. I guess so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Does that make me woke?
Yeah.
That I speak
yeah.
to people different than me? I guess so. I have black friends. Yeah, I guess I'm
You're not
real
woke enough there.
What does that mean? I got to be more woke?
They're just friends.
No, they're black friends. So the ones that I have to. It's the same way I have to just like, who's coming over? It's like, have I met him? If I said Winston's coming over, if you said, have I met him? I'm like, he's black. That would be the first thing I said. I'm not going to go, he's a very nice man. He works for the city. It's like, have I met him? He's about 6'2". He's got dreadlocks. Immediately, we're going to start getting into dreadlocks. Is he? That's your first question. Is he a black guy? Yes. It's how you describe people. So shut up, everybody. Yes, I guess I'm woke. I suppose I'm all woke now because I thought the insurrection was stupid.
You're aware that there's 74
States?
sexual identities?
Oh, yes. No, absolutely. I know that there's...
Not too many people know that.
I can't name them. Like, if you wanted to play the game of name all the sexual genders and identities, I'd be... After 4, I'm pretty much toast. In fact, I'm not sure I can rattle off 4. I don't know if...
I'm more groggy than I am woke.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I'm aware.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sleepy. I'm ready to go back to sleep. I'd rather not be woke. That way I could sleep through it. Yeah, I don't know what the genders are. I know there's male and female. Yeah. Let's not get upset.
Yeah.
Is trans...
Then you get into cis?
No, that's what being a man is. No.
Isn't that one of the...
Okay.
Okay.
See, there you're confused. Like, you are cis.
Pan? What about pan?
Pan's a gender, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pan gender. Transgender. Because, they recognize up to 72 on Facebook. I'm at 2 for sure. Because
is there multiple Qs?
Geez, I don't know. Cisgender is basically what you are, which is a man who knows he's a man and accepts he's a man and he enjoys the company of women.
Damn right.
That's included in the list, though, isn't it?
That's a male. That's just the same as saying a male. So I don't think you're saying anything.
Not one of the 73?
I think it might be listed, but it's not different than just saying male. If you're a male, male and female are automatically cis. I think. There's neutral. There's neutral. Which
null.
How does that count? That's like saying it's.
Well, I think that's part of agender.
Is okay.
That's a subcategory.
But you're
now.
a car guy, right?
Yeah.
Is it a gear?
No, neutral's nothing.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
So it doesn't count.
It's in between. It's like the taint almost.
Right. So it doesn't count as a gender.
Right.
Like neutral in your car. Reverse is a gear.
Right.
Drive's a gear.
Yep.
Park?
Some people will argue that
they haven't decided.
Yeah, because park is engaged
Park
in
is
a gear.
Engaged gear. Yeah.
It's engaged in a gear.
Neutral is just loose. None of the teeth are grinding.
Yeah. But some of these car guys will probably, no, it's part of it. You know, you put it neutral.
Neutral
but
is
you're
it
neutral.
or is it not? So we're neutral on whether or not it's a gear.
Kind of.
So we're the same with that gender. But we'll throw it in there, but I don't think it is because on the Prindle stick, it's not.
Yeah.
It's the only one on there that's not a gear.
Oh, Butch is actually a gender now.
It is?
Apparently. This is medical news today.
All right. This is on a medical journal?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Butch is, I'm a butch. Now, see, cisgender's on there, but that just means you know you're a male or a female. So that's redundant, if you ask me.
You were signed at
Gender outlaw.
Right. Now, gender is not, like, that's the one argument that's going around with Chappelle and J.K. Rowling's argument, that sex.
There's the cue.
Sex is a fact. Gender is not. Gender is a state of mind or an assignment. Gender is a social standing, right? That's the argument between it. Like your sex is determined. That's a fact.
There's the all.
Your gender is a social thing. What's that one?
Omnigender.
Ooh, what's that one? That's multiples.
Experiences and possesses all genders.
That's all of them?
You're the god of genders.
You are gender Zeus? Wow. And you don't vacillate between the other genders. You are always all genders. You are omnigender.
Yeah.
I am omnigender.
Transgender and trans are two different things.
Yeah, that's different.
That. Okay.
Transgender and they're...
I would have failed this test.
Oh, yeah. No. I have no clue. So I guess I'm not that woke. Because I don't...
Two-Spirit.
Two-Spirit's a new one that I learned that one on a TV show when they started it. That's based in Native American things where your spirit can switch back and forth from gender to...
Are you serious?
Yeah, read it. It's how do they define it? It's a strange... I think it's from Native American religion.
There are many different definitions of two-spirit in indigenous Native American people may or may not use this term to describe their experiences and feelings of masculinity and femininity.
Yeah, you sometimes you're masculine, sometimes you're feminine, you're two-spirit. I think I'm two-spirit because sometimes, like I'm putting on my Cindy Crawford skincare in the morning, I'm feeling pretty other-spirited, I'm feminine spirit. But I like it, and it's doing wonders. My face feels great, my pores are a lot smaller.
And it gives you confidence as a man.
Well, that's strange. You're right. My girly behavior makes me a better man.
Yeah.
Just makes my pores smaller. I really enjoy that part a lot.
Depends on how much Budweiser you drink that day, if you're two-spirit or not.
If I'm eating a Jumbo Jack and I'm eating Budweiser and I'm putting on Cindy Crawford's beauty creams, I am two-spirit. I am two-spirited at that moment. Now, once I put one or the other down, then I'm back to just being a single spirit. I don't know. That's silly. I'm not playing that game. I don't know. I don't care where your spirit is at all. Don't get mad at me if I don't identify your spirit. But by the by, if you know Jason K., who emailed me, and he's going through a tough time with that divorce. Dr. K. If he's going through that divorce, that troubling thing about how I'm woke, and he's mad at me. But really he needs to look, and I hate to do this again to Brett 2 days in a row, look inward and say, I need to take a look at this divorce and stop lashing out at local DJs because I'm not mad at him. I'm still mad at my wife, Mrs. K., who was busy, boning without his knowledge. And then and he called me a cuck.
Long time ago, too. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it was a long time ago. He got divorced, so it's been a little while.
Afterwards.
Yeah, so it's been a bit, but we don't know how long his divorce, could have been 6 months ago. And he just found out. So he's mad at me for letting some guy bang our country. And just standing there doing nothing about it.
And bang his wife, apparently.
Well, right. This guy's been getting around. He moved on from your wife and started nailing our enticement. I guess you get it from behind. Somewhere around San Francisco would be the beehole, and that makes sense. Shaped like a lamb. I don't know. I don't know how to respond to your query, sir. So there you go. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have cut Antonio Brown finally, and the news just keeps getting better and better. Did you see his tweets yesterday? I don't understand the one. He's mad at Aaron Rodgers' trainer, or not Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady's trainer, Aaron Gonzalez or whatever that guy's name is, and he tweeted him and said, "Look, man, if we're not going to work together, that's fine. But my $100K I paid you, I want at least half of that back for the work we're not going to do." And the guy couldn't have responded better. Antonio, you're a great person. I totally understand where you're coming from. Tell me where to route the money, and I'll send it right to you. And then Antonio puts that up with a note over the top of it on his social media that says, "You believe this guy's keeping my $100,000? It's like, he's not. Like, read it. He says, "I'll give it right back. Don't worry about it. It's heading right back to you." And he told Bruce Arians in another tweet, I'm not at top speed. I rolled my ankle a little bit on that 2-point play. I'm ready to play, though, Coach. I'm ready to go. And Arians is like, we need you. Nobody's resting for the playoffs. We're going in. And he goes, I'll be there. He said, I just want to be top speed. And he said, all right, well, then do it. And he said, they're pushing me. He's like, you're the one saying I'm in. None of his tweets make any sense, but they cut him yesterday finally. So their legal team has figured out, all right, we can get out of this because idiot keeps stepping in his own traps. And now he can't sue us back because he said, I'll play. So that whole thing got weirder and weirder as the weeks went on. And I hope he does sign with somebody. I hope somebody picks him up. I don't know who's in need of a receiver going into the playoffs.
NFL would love it.
Oh, it'd be brilliant.
Bears.
Well, going into the playoffs. I said playoffs.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me.
Just be happy.
We'll take him for 1 week.
Just be happy your team has a game in January because it doesn't ever happen. No. So congratulations. You got yourself a late January game, which is usually when they'll start. You got a regular season one, so it feels like the playoffs. Pretend this weekend the Vikings and Bears are battling it out, and then you'll get eliminated either way because the Vikings are going to win that game.
All right.
And then this story, Brett, I thought you'd be interested in it.
All right.
Brady, you might have this one. Did you see the dude? I love this guy's name. Gioacchino Gamino.
He's innocent.
Yeah. The man did nothing. Gioacchino Gamino. He's lying low in Madrid. You know, he's been wanted for a while. He was a fugitive, maybe in the mafia. That's what they tell everybody. I don't know what you're talking about. So he went over to Madrid. He's been living in Madrid. You know how he got caught? He's a Sicilian
There you go.
fugitive.
Well, there you go. Enough said.
He did it. He's been on the run for 20 years. And Gioacchino Gamino is now 61 years old. He was tracked down to a place, Gallagher in Spain. It's a town by Madrid. A picture of him was sent to the authorities because some weirdo, who I think we need to investigate too, because if you do this, you're nuts as well, on Google Street View, saw him at like a bodega.
Come on.
Yeah. Standing outside dealing with some fruit vendor.
Nah, there's something going on there.
That's what I think. So who goes up and down? Like, because the other day I was behind one of those cars that tracks the Google. It's a Waymo, but it's like a Google thing. It's got pictures and cameras all over. And I don't know if it. But every time I see one of those, I'm behind it. I like wave. I'm like, hey. And then I wait, and a couple weeks later, I go back to that intersection that happened and see if it's a picture of me goofing off or being. Yet to find myself on Google Street or Maps. And I've been behind the Google car itself, followed it a little bit.
Trying to get on there, a couple of shots.
On McDowell. I was on McDowell Road, and I'm like, okay. And then for weeks, I went up and down McDowell between 16th Street, 44th Street. Like, come on. One of these times it's going to switch, and there's me acting a fool next. Nope, never. Can't even find myself when I know I've been hit by the Google car. But some idiot on Street View was walking up and down the streets of this tiny outskirts city of Madrid, saw a guy selling fruit to another guy. He's like, hey, that's Gioacchino Gamino. I better alert the authorities. So he got caught on Street View. But if it's like those people that used to play records backwards. Bill Hicks' old joke, if you're playing records backwards, you are the devil. Yeah. You're not going to find him. You are him. It's the same thing. If you're on Street View and you recognize people, fugitives, and turn them in, you're Satan. What kind of Italian are you that you're doing that? I've been on Street View, I think. I would never know where to find myself. I've seen
they go back and verify it. Sure enough, that's him. Let's go to that town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they found him. Not still at the fruit stand, but they knew, okay, he's down. And they started looking around, asking some questions. You guys know a guy named Gioacchino Gamino? How could I forget Gioacchino Gamino? What are you talking about? He comes here every day. He buys plantains. He's getting fruit.
And never changed his name or anything. He just got out of town.
Got out of town. I never thought to, Gioacchino Gamino, he's Sicilian. He's not. He's not going to come in there and go, hey, my name's Jeff Clark. Gioacchino Gamino, don't start with me. Sonny the Bull had a fake name, and he wouldn't use that around Tempe. So you go back to Italy. You go back to the old country. That dude is back to Gioacchino Gamino. It's going to fit in better. But I didn't even think about that. How many times that Google car's been by me? How many times these picture cars go by?
Yeah,
Millions
I've seen it a couple of times.
And I celebrate it. It's like the way white people see cops versus the way black people see cops. Like, I see a cop, I'm like, hey, we're safe. And black people are like, everybody hide. They're going to kill us. And
don't look up.
I feel the same way about the Google car. I'm excited to get like an ice cream truck. And I didn't even think like fugitives have to be, like if you did something terrible and you know deep down, that thing going by you has to be the worst feeling in the world. It has to be just dreadful that you're like, oh, got to get off of the street because it's taking pictures of you. It's videotaping. I'm following it. I follow it around. That's how free and clear my life has been as far as being a horrible criminal. I don't care if it catches me. This is great.
And the guy that got caught yesterday for 20 years, he murdered somebody.
Yeah.
All because of the opportunity that would never identify him, the face mask. He didn't want to wear one.
Yeah,
he's an anti-masker.
Yeah, the dude's the anti-masker. He killed some people, and he's walking around. I ain't wearing no mask, and it caught him.
Yep.
Yeah, these cameras are all over the place, but I never thought of that. I've never once walked down the road, had the Google car go by, and like hidden my face. And most of the time when you
just start dancing, don't you?
Because I've gone by my old houses in other neighborhoods.
Sure.
Yeah,
I'll start doing my
film.
I do my Thriller dance from yesterday. But yeah, I've gone by my old neighborhoods to see my houses, and when I lived in West Virginia and California, and sometimes there's a guy in the front yard, like an old neighbor or something, like watering his grass, but they blur their faces out.
Mine was like 8 years old on the house, 5 or 6 years old.
No,
it hadn't been updated for a while, but
mine are pretty updated.
I think they're doing it more often.
Because I'll Google Street my own house to see if they catch me, Oh, yesterday I was in the throes of a screen mirror. I had a DP video going on the big TV, and I heard, and it was the mailbox. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, God, I've got the windows wide open. I wasn't doing anything bad yet, but the screen was showing some.
Just to warm up.
Well, I just like the words hot teenager takes two at once. Like, I got to see that. And so I'm playing around with the screen mirror because the whole phone goes up there. Like, this is great. And it was up there and it was frozen because it's not reading, it wasn't buffering fast enough. So this girl's cans were just like prominent right there on the big screen. The window's wide open. I didn't even see the mailman come. It's a lady. So she didn't stand there and stare, so she didn't see it. But either way, that's the only thing I'm worried about. And I find it hilarious if the Google car went by, snapped a picture, and my window was wide open, and there's a DP vids up there. That's hilarious.
John, I hide every single time I see the Google car, too. Definitely don't want to be found. Signed, Toledo's dad.
That's true. Imagine Toledo's dad if Google car goes
jumping
by.
into bushes.
My God. It's just a dude's feet in the back of bushes in motion every time. Yeah, every time I've done it, I've seen like people, they blur their faces out. So Giancino Gamino standing there buying fruit thought.
Identified by the guy cruising Google.
Guy just walking up and down Google streets. And then, but not just, like, because why are you doing it?
Yeah.
You're going up and down looking at people.
Could have been taking a look at his old house.
It's not a residential area. He's walking around the streets.
Where he used to work.
Maybe.
He's like,
but then he goes,
oh! I wonder if that building is still there.
You know that noise happened the second he
said,
yeah. Oh, that's Giancino Gamino. Oh, I got to call somebody. That guy effed up a lot of things. What are you buying, fruit? You getting yourself a kiwi right now, you son of a bitch, Giancino Camino?
But then he's got to be careful. Being snitches get stitches.
Oh, yeah. Right. But that's a great, how does anybody know? You just send that photo and I found Giancino Camino.
Oh, they know.
They'll find out.
They'll find out.
They'll work it. But they got insiders with the police.
Yeah. That's so when he doesn't realize what he's done.
I got a tip. We know what Gimino Caccino is. He got a little tip. Also, being a crooked police officer, I know who gave us the tip, but we're going to kill him.
Maybe he gets, the pass because you did the right thing. He was fruit where he wasn't supposed to.
He wasn't selling. He was buying. He's just enjoying his day. Nah, he's just buying fruit.
Sounds like The Godfather when Don Corleone's buying the oranges. Yeah.
Oranges. Every time oranges happen, an Italian dies. You guys have to hate orange trees.
Oh, I don't even have orange juice in my house. You kidding me? I'm out.
Hate the Google truck and oranges. Those are the two things. That's like a crucifix and a silver bullet. It's for an Italian. Google truck and oranges are kryptonite. But yeah, I found that to be disturbing because somebody's out there on Google Streets finding people, which means the attention to detail and what you're looking at is crazy.
That's lightning striking right there.
Oh, I know that guy. That happened. Just take a leisurely computer stroll right up here and go by the fruit stand. And whoa. Go back. That's Gino Camino. So stay inside is what I'm saying. Big Brother's everywhere.
I'm almost calling. It almost sounds like shenanigans, kind of like Brady said, because you do see the Google Maps picture people in there,
Yeah.
and their faces
They're
are always
blurred.
blurred out.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
There's something going on here.
The picture's clean. Like they got the shot that got him.
And
too.
then it's Sicily to Madrid,
Right.
right?
Well, he's living in Madrid.
Yeah.
Right. So a guy in Madrid.
And the faces are blurred out in this. I didn't realize it's a clean picture.
Oh.
There's Giancino Camino getting himself a couple of
I guess you
plantains.
just know that physique, maybe? I don't know.
20 years later,
Looks like every other Guinea.
I'm not going to lie. I think it's
That's
Brett.
how he got caught.
It does look like all you guys.
It does.
I don't want to
Could
sound.
be me, Brett Ernst. I mean, it could be anybody.
Yeah,
You know?
I don't want to sound racist, but I think all of them look exactly alike in Italy. And then they turn into this guy he's buying fruit from, which is an old man in a brown short sleeve button up with gray hair. A little bit fat. Anyway, they got Giancino Camino. Finally. Thank you, Google Maps.
God bless.
I didn't even think of that. And my, my thoughts and prayers go out to all you fugitives who are, you have a car go by your house every once in a while. Go, oh, man, I can't go outside for a little bit. What's the matter? Google car. Oh,
Keep
I'm
the
going
mask on.
outside. I'm getting myself some fruit. What's the worst that could happen? I'm trying to stay healthy. Get myself a couple of pomegranates. What's in season? Giancino Camino is starving.
Looking for some dragon fruit.
Yeah, got himself some goods. And you know how close Kamala Harris was to Italy in the last 20 years? She's been there, Brady. She's been there like several times in the last 20 years. Giancino Camino's been in Italy. You know, I don't even know if she's safe anymore.
You got to throw me in that mix as well,
Brady,
John.
you've been to Italy near Giancino Camino and
Yeah.
Kamala Harris. You two both almost got Giancino Camino'd. This is terrifying. Did you realize that a year ago, when that pipe bomb was found outside the Democratic National Committee, Kamala Harris and other prominent Democrats were inside?
Wow.
How does she wake up in the morning and not just start crying immediately? And she still has the nerve to wander around with all this safety. Unbelievable that was. Brady, that is it. Costa Concordia is the second scariest story I've ever heard. 1 year before it crashed, Brady was on it.
Man.
I mean, but for the grace of God, Brady. He took that trip a year later. Also, I've been to an airport. And there are planes there, and sometimes those crash. You know how close I've been to being in a plane that's next to a plane that was once a plane that was in the air? Oh, my God. I've been to O'Hare Airport. There's been several crashes there. Almost me.
Well, now you don't have to worry about it, at least. No planes, no staff working there.
Yeah,
It's
nobody.
okay,
They shut down Terminal 4 because the kids won't go to work anymore.
Yeah, is it like 2 out of 4 gates?
It's crazy. They can't get people to show up to work right now. It's Omicron. People have the flu. Everybody's besides that, nobody wants to get sick. I have my old people friends who one who I told you just recently passed, and his wife Paula. We're supposed to visit her, and there's been a COVID scare in her facility. So you know how you get around that is to fill out some paperwork that says, "But we're real good friends." That's it.
And they're like, okay.
They're like, all right, you know what? That's a pretty compelling point. I was like, and she needs people right now. Yeah, no, that's true. We should get her around more people. It's
When I told you that at my parents' place where they're at.
It's crazy.
Kirby, are you under 18? Yeah. Okay, you're fine.
You can go in. You can carry it too. But yeah, that's basically
I
what.
had to fill out paperwork and show a card. And
some worker there evidently fell with the Omicron, and they're like, oh, he's been in contact with some of the old folks. And they're like, we got to shut her down. And they're like, yeah, but we're supposed to see her. Yeah, I know. She's going through a lot. So you guys can go in and see her. So anybody can actually go see somebody who's, and there's probably 8 people and they're going through a tough time because they're all like 80, 90 years old. So if they'll let you in. Like, what the hell? I'm not going. I don't want to be responsible for that. I'm not hanging out with 90-year-olds when there's an Omicron outbreak. I might get blamed for it. No thanks. But yeah.
that makes it, right now in the surge, and that's part of the pandemic, but when people were passing away, the tough thing was like funerals and
couldn't
wakes.
Go. Couldn't say goodbye in the hospital. It's terrible. Just now they're kind of letting you in again. Can you get a job just driving the Apple Google car?
I think so, yeah.
So you can just do that in my spare time? Just drive around
like
and
the Google Maps car?
Film the neighbors and stuff?
I don't know.
It might be a full-time gig.
That's
they
a
don't
lot
want
of
any
driving.
part-time.
Toledo should do it. As much driving
He'd
as
be
he does.
great
He'd be
for it.
amazing. Do road trips and pulling into truck stops and getting beef jerky for the kids. Get a good view of the Stuckies up there in Wyoming, and then he'd drive all over. We should get him
Stuckies, Buckies.
I'd like to go in the great U-turn with Toledo and have it be the Google Street Map of those streets.
Yeah, you can get a job there. Ranges between $11 to $17 an hour is what it's going to pay.
It's a good side hustle.
Yeah,
driving around neighborhoods, just making people nervous. I would like to do it in all the urban areas, I'll say, and just watch people scrambling back into the house when I come down the road. It would be like an ice cream truck with a turret.
Well, you're not going to be driving a Ford Focus, and you're going to be driving a Brinks truck through some of those neighborhoods.
They're going to bulletproof that. I'm going to be. It's my eye slit that I can drive through like it's a tank. As I Google, 23rd Avenue and Camelback, as I cruise through the area.
I wonder if their automation on that thing happens just like our studio. The guy forgot to hit the. He just went through all those neighborhoods and it didn't record.
Drove around and found out it didn't work. You're still getting paid, unless you didn't hit the button and it's manual. Yeah, I kind of want to do that gig. Give me one of them cars and I'll drive around the tougher neighborhoods just to watch people run inside. You'd break up every ball game and dice game ever driving that Google car right down the street. You'd see dice flying in the air, money just poof, and dudes just disappearing.
Come on, 7.
Yeah, I'd be like the Scooby-Doo Phantom. Zoinks! Let's get out of here, Lamont.
Just put that screen mask on.
My nickname would be Adios Mio, because every neighborhood I'd drive, Adios Mio! Just people jumping into houses. And white people are different when it comes to that, because they act like nothing's wrong. And
it's the official curfew mobile.
Yeah, the murdering white people stand and stare at cameras. Every time they catch a white guy on a camera and he's not supposed to be, we don't run. Like, it's not because we're chicken, it's because we're dumb. Like, you always see those guys, like, here he is, here's the guy we've been looking for, and he's just staring directly into the camera. Everybody else every other race runs. White people just stare at it like, I dare you to arrest me. And Chino Camino, you got yours. Anyway, be careful. And if you are one of those people that street walk through your computer to the point of recognizing other people,
get a life.
Sort of being a peeping Tom, you weirdo. Yeah, find something else to get a better hobby than that, you nutball. It's Friday, so let's get a good one here. Quick week. 585-9800 is the number. Let's get a wake-up song and scream it together. It's 98 KUPD. Wake up!
The best the world has to offer in music, drama, and comedy.
KUPD.
You've been listening to Holmberg's Morning Sickness Podcast, brought to you by our friends at Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Eric'sFamilyBBQ.com.